Kia ora, and welcome back to 99 Vibes. My name is Aaron Bridges, aka Blade Belt. I do TikTok and YouTube stuff. I'm here with my co-host, fellow white boy, Jack Shearer.
Hey everyone.
We're back, for reals. This is not the warm-up episode.
Yeah, this is the full episode.
This
we're
is
high energy. We're up in this bitch.
Say if it was starting again,
Yeah.
the last one would be episode 0.
Yeah, this is
Episode
the
1.
launch.
Yeah. Anyways, Jack, when did you learn how to breathe? when did you figure that out?
About the same time I got asked a stupid question for the first time, I would say. Actually, that would be the first time
It's
I learned
almost like that,
how to stop and take a breath.
that like complete change to what you're expecting as a question makes you reevaluate how you think and
You're
and therefore how to breathe.
And I noticed myself breathe for the first time. And I was like, I quite like that, I'm going to do it again. And I just haven't stopped, actually, since.
I think we should pull your mic a little further away from your mouth. Like,
Do you know what I'm trying to think about? It's not
not squeaking with shit.
Yeah.
I've never realised, because my chair isn't squeak. It clicks, but it's not squeaky.
Yeah, no, mine been squeaking for some time.
Add it one more time?
My shit been squeaking for some time. Oh, you mean the chair? I thought you just wanted me to repeat what I said.
So normally, like, most people would be like, he wants me to hit the chair again.
No.
And you're like, let me say that horrific thing I just said one more time.
My thing been squeaking for some time.
What I was actually going to ask you is that whenever I start, like, new things, I normally start... Well, when I started my vlog, I did vlog number 0, and then the next one's vlog number. I was like, is that... But I just thought that was, like, the way to do it back then.
Nah, that's weird.
Makes no sense.
No.
Because then, like, you're done a vlog 30, and it says playlist 31. But 200 later, it's a little too late to realise that error.
Yeah. Well, you could go back and change all the titles.
No, because then in the
But
vlogs,
then you
I
refer
acknowledge
to
what
them-
number
yeah,
they are.
okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter, because no one... But that's the thing, is the bigger I get as a creator, the higher chance that someone's just going to binge watch all the high school vlogs again.
I do that every night.
That's not true. I can now hear what you're watching.
Yeah,
now.
that's the thing. Continue what you were going to say, and then I'm going to complain about that.
No, you go. I'm kind of in my fault. Could you hear what I was watching last night? Is that what you're about to say?
No. Because my projector, love it. Great product. Awesome. But...
Life-changing.
Yes, genuinely. Best thing I've bought in, I don't know
They're
how
so
long.
sick. They're
That's
so
fucking
good. They're so neat.
It's not that much. I'm not really a TV guy. Like, watching shit is not like... I watch YouTube and I watch like the odd Netflix thing with you, like the flat. But I'm not like I'm gonna sit down and like watch a bunch of content. Like, projector makes a lot of sense for you. Like, you're way more into YouTube than I am, I would say. But since I got that thing, it's like...
It sucks you in.
fucking amazing.
Well,
It's
does
so
this
good.
mean, like... Because you can't use it during the day, obviously, much.
I
But,
think like the experience of watching shit on like a big clear screen.
a big, huge fucking screen on your wall.
Because before that, if I watched it, I'd either watch it on my laptop and be like sitting up a bit, or I'd watch it on my phone, and neither of those are like amazingly.
You can just
fun
lounge.
experiences. Yeah, you can just post up.
But what you were gonna say, like the fault that you
So
found.
the fault with it is that the volume goes to 5.
Yeah.
Any lower than that, so like 4, 3, 2, or 1, where I would operate at the dead of night, mute for some reason. And like the other Chromecast, the Chromecast remote has volume controls as well,
Yeah.
but they don't work, so I need to figure that out.
Yeah.
So currently,
It's a conundrum
I watch it
going
on
there.
5, which is the lowest it can go. Like, I literally can't turn it any lower on either remote, but it's too loud. It's fine for me, but I'm very aware that you and Jack can probably hear it, and so I'm like, I try not to watch stuff too late at night.
I mean, when I say I can hear your stuff, I can only hear it when I walk down the hallway. I can't hear it when I'm in here. I mean, the thing is, like, normally when you're awake and doing things, I'm also going to be awake and doing things. Very rarely am I going to be trying to go... Jack, it's a fair case because she goes to bed before you. But for me, I'm just lying there like, oh, Jack's watching something. I'm just going to make sure it's still recording. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But see, for me, because, like, can you sit in frame? You see my bedside table, it's where my projector normally is.
Yeah.
And it's right next to my ear.
Right there for everyone watching.
Do you know what?
On YouTube.
Or Spotify. The video's on both.
True.
Also, by the way, Spotify, thank you so much for redoing the website and making it easy to upload the video again. This podcast disappeared for 2 months. No.
It was way longer.
Yeah, I said that. It's a real, like, I feel like it's a real good perspective of how my brain's working right now. Just passage of time.
It was like 8 months.
I was going to put it up today, but I want to put more time to it, so I'm putting it out tomorrow. It was like, this Arts trading card project. I was like, sweet. I'm like, fuck. I was like, I was going to get this done in January.
Yeah.
And it's May. And like, in fairness, I'm glad I put the extra time into it, but
time fucking flies. It's crazy.
Time's been flying this year in particular, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, especially moving to this flat and like it isn't like that huge like shift coming up. It's just like, fuck. We've been here for what? 4 weeks?
Yeah, it already. Well, yeah, because we moved in on the 10th of April. I started moving on.
And
like
it's the 2nd of May today.
But yeah, so it's been a minute already. But I think what always gets me, and this is like more trippy the further back you go, I was like thinking about how much has happened in the last month. Yeah. But then you extend that to like 6 months or a year or 5 years or whatever.
But that only really applies to when you're like 20.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For sure. But like, it's not surprising that you think
something... Are we wearing the same shorts?
Yep. You know when we were also wearing the same shorts?
Last episode?
All day.
My bad. Well, because I was wearing pants this morning.
Yeah.
And it was inexplicably 20 degrees in May.
Yeah, it was crazy. I went out...
It's still hot. It's my window open, that's nice.
I went out to study this morning, and it was like a nice overcast day. I brought Kevin out with me to like... Because he's not allowed direct sunlight, but he can have...
Oh, your fucking plant. That took me a second. I was like...
Kevin?
Who?
Yeah. I brought the plant out with me because it needs sunlight, but not direct sunlight.
Yeah.
So I was like,
so you name your plant Kevin?
Yeah.
I thought we decided on a better name than this.
Kevin's a great name.
Kevin is such a boring ass name. Do you know your name was Kevin? Kevin 11.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Did you not watch Ben 10?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin 11 was alright.
Nah, he was a naughty kid in class who would get yelled at.
You didn't like that, did you?
No, actually, at the time I read, I didn't say that as meant, but he was just like the annoying one. Because he's like the kid to get yelled at, and you're like, oh. And he's the kid that gets yelled at, and you're like... Did you get yelled at much in class?
Yeah.
Really?
Not a lot, but like a little bit. Do you know, like...
I was such a pussy in school. Like,
consistently throughout... This is such a hodgepodge of topics. I'm going to finish what I was saying
is that not what 99 Vibes is meant to be? It's 99 Vibes being thrown at you. Like.
I'm going to move on in a sec. Anyway, I took Kevin out to the desk this morning, and he was sitting on the table quite calmly, just soaking up the indirect sunlight, the rays.
Also he?
And then,
It's 2023. You assume your plant's gender like that?
Absolutely.
I don't think it... They were soaking up the rays.
He was soaking up the rays. He. And then simultaneously the sun came out and it started being real fucking windy. So Kevin's getting fucked up. Like, it's just because he's real light and...
Yeah, it is a very delicate plant.
So, like, he's just getting munted. He was, like, 45 degrees and just getting sent one way. And it was burning him up. So I was like, all right, we're both going inside. I'm not having this. Anyway.
It was, like, real, like, nice when the wind would just come fuck shit up for a bit today. Then it would go back to being standard. It's Wellington for you. That's
the 99 Vibes weather report for you.
Sorry, I just remember I could look into that camera lens. That's what I had to, like, I was like, oh, actually, I can just...
I can look at it. Yeah.
Anyways, you got yelled at in class. That's the topic I really want to talk about. You got yelled at. What happened now?
Well, like, the comment I always got through high school was that I need to focus more or try more or whatever. So, like, I didn't really get yelled at as in I did a whole bunch of dumb shit. Like, I didn't get yelled at because I was being super naughty. I got yelled at because I wasn't paying attention. Like, I'd be talking to my friend instead of doing my work, or I'd be looking around the classroom while I was sitting on the mat instead of listening to the teacher. So, like, my whole thing, well, the comment I always got was like, yeah, he's doing all right in school. Like, he's doing fine, passing, whatever. But he could do a lot better if he tried.
You could do a lot better if he gave a shit.
But, like, this was happening since I was, like, 6.
Right, so the most common comment was always, it just needs to focus more.
Yeah, and so, like, then, in maybe, like, year 11, when I learned to focus a bit more, like, I didn't get that comment anymore. But that was simultaneously when I stopped being a little shit. and then just
And then you became prefect.
yeah. And
I was
goody
about,
two shoes after that.
I was about to say, do you know what my most common comment in my teacher reports were?
He's fucking stupid.
No. Responsible, model students, impeccable behavior,
Nothing
top of
will
the class,
go wrong.
literally the best. Do you know what's crazy?
What?
In year 11, switched. and that's where we sit here now. You're being told you need to focus more. I was being told I'm literally the man.
Yeah.
I saw your grades yesterday. I'm looking into getting ADHD medication. Isn't it crazy how life
That is
works
crazy.
sometimes?
Yeah, that was such a one-off grade. I don't want to give the. I would happily like let you think and the world think that like I get that grade consistently.
but
I just don't.
The expectation is for,
Yeah, yeah, it's suffocating.
You heard her first. Jack's done it back to back on the next test.
Well, that's the thing. It's like now I've got that mark. I'm like, fuck.
Can you share your next test grades of the podcast so we can get this? What if your like uni career becomes a subplot of this podcast?
It would be a very depressing subplot, I think.
Nah. You do all right.
As in my like everything I get up to at uni, or just my grades?
Just your grades.
No. That's an interesting part about law school. Is grades are kind of taboo.
Sure.
Yeah, like, I mean, I talk about my grades.
So it's all about the bar exam.
Close
or
friends. No. It's just something you don't talk about.
Just, as in like you just don't. So they matter.
Oh fuck yeah! Absolutely.
So I took to boot meant like it's all about the knowledge you're learning. I was
No, shit no.
That's weirdly forward thinking from the law school. I wouldn't expect such a like
Fuck
modern
no.
concept.
Not forward thinking from the law school.
I thought, you will come into all your lectures in person.
Yeah, well, literally.
Fuck COVID.
The funny thing is though, they've got the infrastructure just to do it online when they want. It's purely like up to the lecturer. Like, because the first lecture is like, oh yeah, I'll post the recordings, I suppose, for the distance learners and stuff. And it's like, it's helpful to have a recording, but whatever. Like, I'll go to the lectures in person.
Yeah.
But this new guy's like, yeah, I think I'll just do one lecture in person a week, and the other two I'll just post videos for.
But also, like, why still do one in person? Like, why not fully commit to this?
Because I think they do it for like, it's supposed to be like a recap session. Like, he doesn't give us much new content, but he like takes questions and.
What a good dude.
He's a good bloke.
You know
what else is good about online lectures?
What's that?
There's no one in the room to ask stupid questions that derail the conversation. So he gets through the content in like 35 minutes instead of 50. But that process was exacerbated considerably when we had hour 20 or hour and a half lectures last year or the year before. And then COVID, like, we had that like brief lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just knocking out lectures in 40 minutes for the exact same amount of content. Which, when you think about it, is fucking crazy.
So you sit in the class going from an hour and a half to 40 minutes. Yeah,
you don't, like, the lecturer gets through the exact same amount of content.
Yeah.
So when you think about how much time I've probably wasted sitting in the...
Oh, yeah, this has always been my bit about school. Because I had in year 9 when I had labor fire, so I took 6 weeks off school. And I was in, like, frail conditions. Like, could not sit upright for like most of the day and all that shit. And I got ahead of my science class by just doing a couple SciPad pages a week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I was in B band, so not top stream, but I was still in the second, top class, and I got considerably ahead. And I got excellence on my on my return assignment. Going back to school. But it's
the revenge tour.
See, I regret. I've been thinking about stuff more so in sports terms, as in general, and it makes life so much more fun.
I think about shit in basketball terms all the time now.
Yeah, but I feel like basketball terms you can sort of translate like a series or like a masterpiece of like someone getting a bunch of championships. Yeah. This is such a bloke conversation. But what I was saying is after that point, that's what broke me of school, is like the amount of time you just fuck around and don't do anything and waste because of the other students and because of like the human part of like, no matter how good the teacher is, they'll always waste a bit of time, and we're just not trying to waste that time.
No, absolutely. And I think like
I stopped going to school in year 13 for these exact reasons, and it was like, if you compare my grades to the rest of the class, 0 dip.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like my grades haven't dipped at all because of going online. But I definitely notice like it fluctuates a lot more based on my performance as opposed to like the class in general, you know? Like,
right, I see. Yeah, okay.
So like if I'm not paying attention to class, regardless of whether I like it or not, my grades will dip. But if I was taking that same class and there was a bunch of like wasted time and derailed conversations, I feel like my grades would be dependent on, yes, like my own focus and performance and stuff, but also like the ability of the lecturer to like maintain their train of thought, or like keep the discussion like in a linear path, because we're all learning this thing, like it's new, and they're like, law students are just curious people, I feel like, that are thinking about other stuff all the time. But like, if you're learning something new and you don't get it and you ask a question, the teacher has to give credence to that question. So they explain this question that actually may or may not have anything to do with what you're talking about. Except there's 120 other people in the room who
now also have to listen to that. Yeah.
Exactly. So like, when it's just a lecturer who's a knowledgeable person and they can just maintain like a boom, 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 this is what you need to know, they get through the content, it's really easy to follow. But when you're in person, maybe a bit tired, not everyone's on the same page, so much harder to get through that content. So I understand why it takes longer. And I get like the whole discussion-based learning thing is important too. But that's why we have tutorials, I think.
Yeah, well, if you do this online class, you get what could have been an hour and a half block. You get all that content done in 40 minutes. There's more time for you to dedicate time to those students who need the help, who instead of wasting other people's time, you give more actual personalised time to them.
You know what's better as well? It's a 40-minute lecture on 1.5 speed is even less than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, but most humans can comprehend information at double talking speed really easily. I know it's because lots of people can't understand me, but I talk so fucking fast.
The only reason I don't watch on 2 times speed is not because I can't keep up with what they're saying, but because I can't type fast enough.
Right. Yeah, it is.
So,
So when you take notes, are you just typing the whole time?
Mostly. So, like, it depends on the lecturer. If they talk slow and they make, like some people really consider what they're saying.
Right.
And they only give you, like, really important bits of information. Other lecturers just, like, brain dump, which is also fine. But more of that is, like, listening to, like, a whole paragraph.
Right.
Like, a whole 30 seconds to a minute's worth of speech and being like, okay, this and this are important. Or like they'll explain a whole bunch of context and then be like, and that came to this rule, yada yada yada. But like, I had a lecturer who I really fucking hated last year, and it's because they would like talk for like a solid minute about being like, yeah, the court said this, and like, you know, they laid out this test and these criteria for this specific situation, blah 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 blah, and you'd write it all down. And they'd be like, and that was wrong, and so then, and that got reversed in this decision.
Waste your time for 3 minutes, and this is why this doesn't matter. No, I had an art teacher who spent like 20 minutes talking about this fucking poster, and I was like, this poster kind of dope. Anyways, this breaks all the rules that we want to teach this year. I'm like, why the fuck? Can we just look at it this year?
So it's just stuff like that. Like if they talk in like an illogical way, or explain something illogically, like if you listen to the whole thing, you get the point. Yeah. Eventually, but it's hard to keep up if you don't. Anyway, I don't quite remember how we started this whole.
I think. I don't know, it is crazy. But
actually, I do remember. We joked about my uni career becoming like a topic of the podcast.
True.
And then I just talked about uni for 10 minutes.
I said just for grades, and you're like, no, I said, we'll just talk about the grade. And you said, here's everything else.
Yeah. Like, here's everything you didn't ask for. Just like a lecturer. How about that?
Yeah. It is something saying we haven't actually talked about school or education and
because we only talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, but we pick up the microphone and all of a sudden it's like, yo, fuck the system.
What? Yeah.
Fuck how this shit works.
Yeah.
No, but I was gonna say is like, and it's just kind of going. You're saying like how wasting time all that, and time is our most invaluable resource. You can't get any of it back. It's it's easy to give to people. You don't get it back. And I saw this essay recently. It was saying like how people were saying like, oh, I need 5 minutes for coffee to like talk about something. It's like. It sounds like a really harmless thing, but how much time it actually takes up and how much energy it takes up. And I feel like once you start thinking like that, doing like in-person classes or just doing shit like it becomes fucking infuriating. When you're just sitting here with just, you just feel the time, like, especially if you're like awake and energized and you just feel the time just slipping away. That's how I felt when we went to Homegrown. I felt I was like, I'm sharp. I feel like energized. It's a beautiful day. I'm in this fucking mosh with this artist I don't know.
Yeah.
With these people. Well, I mean, we're friends, we're friends. But I was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this time could be better used for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are having fun, but this is just Yeah.
No, I get that. I feel the same when I'm doing nothing. Like,
Right.
I'm really bad at doing nothing. Unless
I'm so good at doing nothing.
so although to be fair, like I don't count basketball as watching nothing.
Oh, yeah,
Watching basketball is doing nothing. But like just lying there, or just chilling. Like watching TikTok on my phone, I don't mind watching TikTok for a bit, but then I get to a point where I'm like,
yeah. Oh yeah. I always feel like when you're doing, like, doing nothing, it's like it's like, you know, I always find like you can enjoy it being like, this is relaxing, and then if it's something to do, I can just go and do that thing. But if you keep doing it, it must be a reason why I'm still doing this.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was like when we were in Samoa, actually, like that was really, really good. But there was so many like hours where we were just like chilling.
Yeah,
like
well, I think it's like when you're chilling, you've got nothing. Like you've really got nothing to do. Versus if you're chilling, but you've got like a project you could be doing, or like something you can just work on. And it's like you can work on that, and you can get exhausted from doing it, and then chill, and it feels like you've done something. Versus if you start doing nothing, or you start the day doing nothing instead of working to doing nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because like while we were away, we had no Wi-Fi. But I had like a shitload of assignments and tests coming up for last week, like first week back at uni. Yeah. And so I'm like, this is cool. Like I'm really relaxing. This is lovely. I'm gonna have to go so crazy when I get home.
Yeah, right. So, that's hard to relax when you're like, you know, there's a bunch of shit. Oh, yeah, you know, there's like a big pile of work to do, and you're being told you can't do it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'll catch up on my sleep, and I'll like be good to go when I get back. And I was like, I've literally today I finished all of it. So I've got nothing to do tonight, like that needs doing anyway.
Hell yeah.
I could do shit, but I don't need to. So I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I can do nothing tonight and not feel bad about it. But if I had like a big essay due tomorrow and like couldn't work on it for whatever reason, I'd be just it's a bad feeling.
I get I relate to it, but it's a weird feeling for me because the person setting the deadlines is me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like to, I don't do it much because it feels really schizophrenic, but I'm always like, the fucking boss is saying this needs to be done. I'm the boss, it's me.
I did the same shit.
Hey, big man, it's got to be done.
Yeah. My favourite thing is like when someone asks if I can do something, I'll be like, oh yeah, I just got to get work off. And they don't get it because they don't know who I am. Like, and that I am my own boss. But it's purely for me. I'll be like, oh yeah, just see if I can get work off, and then I'll be sweet. Like, knowing it's just, obviously I can't get work off.
I might say it's well, the thing is, all the people I would need to make that case with know that I'm my boss and wouldn't respect that. I'd be like, oh, do you want to do something? Oh, yeah, I can't get work off. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'll be like, yeah, I get it, but like, it still needs to be done.
But you know how someone asks you to do something and you're like keen.
Yeah.
But you're not necessarily sure if you've got other shit on that day and you don't want to like commit right now.
Right. Yeah,
it's like the perfect thing to say instead of like, oh, I'll check my calendar. Because like saying I'll check my calendar is such a meme now. Or like, you know, like it's a really easy way to say yes without saying yes.
Yeah.
It's just funny because obviously for me, if they know me, I wouldn't say I'll see if I can get work off.
No,
but if someone's like, oh, bro, like,
you start saying to people you
do you want to come study on Friday or something? Like, we got this. Day. I'm like, oh yeah, bro. Like, I'm keen as. I'll just try to get work off and I'll get back to you. And then I just decide later on if I actually want to do it.
Yeah, although I guess even if someone does know, you've got real clients. You could.
Yeah,
hypothetically.
Conceivably.
Yeah,
but I also enjoy referring to myself as the boss.
A big man says it's gonna be done. I think big man.
A big man. Yeah.
Big man says need to get this shit done by Friday, and hands are tired.
Yeah.
Who tied the hands? Me.
Who's enforcing the deadline?
That is the distinct difference between our two tactics. So you're doing it because like you actually want to go to the thing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them like I just I don't.
I mean, I use it as an excuse all the time. But
hey. So, these Bucks today.
How about those Bucks?
I
can't believe we didn't talk about this yet.
Well,
the Miami Heat.
This hadn't happened by the time we did the last one.
True. Actually, it was looking pretty grim last week.
Was it? Was it ever looking grim?
There was, well...
I thought they were free control of the whole series. This isn't about a basketball team,
because we won game.
This is about a basketball team, by the way, called the Miami Heat, who Jack supports, and I also quite like, but I'm not going to say they're my team because they're Jack's team. They were playing against the Bucks, who are like the best team at the moment. The Heat are not the best; they're like the 8th best team in the East, right? Yeah. And they beat the Bucks in the series
convincingly.
That's what you need to know, Mum. Anyways.
All right, I thought you were explaining just for like. Anyway,
It's anyone who doesn't follow the NBA. Just
see what I was thinking was game one.
Oh, why'd you turn off? Why have you done that? You don't mean to do that.
Oh, don't be turning off.
Don't be turning off.
Hey yo.
Dates?
Oh.
How long are we going for?
20. Is it going to be an Adam Bridges face cam right now?
Point your mic towards me. 1, 2, 3, sync. I'll figure it out.
And we're out. All right. So game one, we won. That was great, but I wasn't here to celebrate.
Yeah.
Game two was on Sunday. We got fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then we recorded the podcast on the Tuesday. I think
Right.
maybe they played on the Tuesday or maybe they played on the Wednesday. Anyway, the series wasn't looking great
Yeah, okay.
this time last week.
But now we've
fuck,
won.
It was so good. Oh
It's
my days.
yeah, the Bucks won.
I think I was telling you the day after the game when we knocked them out, I was just on Bucks Twitter for like an hour, like just looking at tweets of their fans, just like, I can't believe we gotta trade this player. I can't believe we lost. Like, Jimmy Butler's a fucking freak. All this stuff. And like, the refs sold, blah, 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 all this shit. And like, I don't even say anything. I'm just there. I'm just ghosting.
So that's the nice thing about NBA Twitter though, is that like when the other team loses, the other team for like, and they still will be like, we fucked that. Well, like, how did we fuck that? Like, we lost it. And F1, when the other team wins, it's just, you just open up Twitter to see spreadsheets showing how Mercedes cheated that race or something. You're like, this is how Max Verstappen's actually a war criminal and doesn't deserve this win. And it's like, yo, what,
Yeah.
what happened there?
Well, the funny thing is, it's just a very like small group of vocal Heat fans who like, when we're losing, we're like, this is the shittest team in the world. Why do any of us watch? But as soon as like people are slandering them or being like, you didn't deserve to beat us or whatever, like if the Bucks fans are like, oh, the refs, blah, 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 they're like fucking rabid animals. They're just,
Well, yeah, they live in fucking Florida.
yeah, they're in every conceivable comment section just defending it with their life.
Is the Heat the only Florida team?
No, there's Orlando Magic as well.
Yeah.
I know, no one gives a fuck about the Magic. Do you know the Magic is just where people get, like, really good players get picked and go there and just dominate for a few years and then one of the big teams pick them up? Because, like, the way the NBA works is, like, if you lose really badly in a season, like, if you're one of the worst teams, when a whole bunch of new players come in, like, the draft for the next season,
Yeah.
they get, like, the higher picks.
Who are you dominating against? So it's your teammates.
No. So, like, Shaq. When Shaq first came into the league, he got drafted to the Magic, who are a bad team. So Shaq gets to be the only fucking... Like, if you get drafted to a team that has...
But they're not, like, winning...
No, fuck
games,
no.
right.
But, like, if you get drafted to a
best
team
player
with,
in that
like,
team by
LeBron
far.
James,
Right.
you're not getting the fucking ball if you're a rookie.
Yeah.
But if you're Shaq, and no one else on your team is any good at all, you're just going to fuck people up. And then you get traded to the Lakers, because the Lakers are like, I want that.
I want to be
him.
that.
And then you win 5 championships. And then you sit on TV like a fuckwit and just say stupid things all day.
Are you trying to pick a fight with Shaq?
Yes.
Are you trying to pick a fight with fucking Shaq?
He's not going to come all the way here and, I just do it. Do you know, actually...
Hey.
No, I have no problem saying that. I know he's not going to fucking do anything.
Nah, yeah.
To me. Maybe in 10 years when fucking we're literally the greatest podcast in the entire world, maybe he'll have beef then. But Shaq will still be missing his free throws then as well. No, what I was going to say is that a few weeks ago, this is what really pissed me off. We
have a minute 30 as well until...
Alright, I'm going to speed run this.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, he was talking on TV about like all the trades that happened at the trade deadline, and like a bunch of smaller players got moved around, but it's still important for the rest of the league because like you know, certain teams get better, certain teams get worse, and they were kind of talking about like who's going to be better and worse. So the Lakers made a bunch of trades that now we can see made them a whole lot fucking better. And Shaq's just on
Much
TV.
better, way better.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, if you're not like a top 10 player in the league, I don't really know who you are. Like, he said that on like an NBA analysis show. And it's like, dog, you are paid millions of dollars to watch basketball
I feel like that's like,
and talk about it. And you don't know who these players are?
Does he actually, or is he just saying that as like, in terms of like...
He's for real.
Like
he was saying
notable.
their names wrong. He didn't know what team they went from.
Yeah,
to
that's pretty
from.
rough.
It's like, motherfucker. Like, I get that you're a good basketball player, but I think being an analyst is a different thing to just playing good basketball. Especially when you were as good as you were because of how big you were.
Yeah.
Like, if Steph Curry Steph Curry will be incredible to listen to talk about basketball because he clearly is not built for basketball and knows the game very well and did well. But Shaq is just big and tall and strong and fat, and that's why he was good for the
Anyways, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode 99 Vibes. I need to figure out this camera situation. John's bullshit. Okay, now I've got like 10 more seconds now. Do you know why those don't record 30 minutes?
Why?
Because if they did, they'd be considered video cameras that get text more. And so now, because of it, they
just turn off at half an hour.
So if it's just like hard software that you can't break.
It's a bugger. We need to get like a warning light.
On the biggest podcast in the world, or some of them, they'll have multiple of these Canon cameras like sprinkled around, and he's a guy who's paid just to walk around and reset them every half an hour. That's an actual thing.
I want to be that guy. Maybe Shaq could be that guy.
Because imagine fucking it up. You'll be...
Yeah, true.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.
Shaq and I have beef.
First a kangaroo now. I can beat Shaq.